It's going to be Druid versus Druid for game number 3, eKop. It's now or never. Let's find out in game number 3. So it looks like it's a really important match, not just for the overall series because you want to win, or eKop wants to win for himself, but because his team was up 1-0, and if you go up 2-0, which is a really big lead, and evening it out, all of a sudden resets it to a best of 3.
Yep. Well, I think Monk's probably got this one. I'm talking about the set of matches. As far as the Druid versus Druid, as I mentioned, it favors eKop just by a little bit. Openers are pretty similar there, and more novice engineers to be had for both parties here.
Yep, and we see pretty defensive setups just because they really can't do much, but we do have a few options because he does have Innervate. When I say he meant Monk, I have to kind of gather myself because it looks a little similar.
Yep. Well, both decks have a lot of the same cards, but the main differences are going to be there's a lot more spells in eKop's deck, and he has the Gadgetzan Auctioneer, which we haven't seen drawn yet, but it's a card that if you don't deal with it immediately, you're going to run into a lot of problems.
Yeah, you just start rattling off and your card advantage becomes insane. Especially with some of the AoE that Druid has. It can provide really good tempo and card advantage.
Yep. The benefit of Monk's deck is largely the Ancient Watchers and the fact that it has a lot of early game control, which is in fact shared by eKop as well, as far as the early game control, but the Ancient Watcher is not really that useful. It's kind of good for stopping the mid-game-ish creatures, but there's not really a lot of those in eKop's deck. I don't really think they're that effective for stopping the huge ones, and those are really the ones that are going to swing the game. These spells and that kind of stuff, it's going to help, but we're going to see probably a pretty big brawl of giant creatures go at it.
Well, we see an immediate big power play from Monk as he drops the Innervate and Druid of the Claw combination and forces out a swipe this early on, which has to make Monk feel really good.
Well, swipe, it's good to bait that out, but it's better to Healing Touch one of those, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Because essentially you're trading swipe for Healing Touch. Yeah. That is a really good trade in a matchup that's control based, as life is not really that valuable of a resource.
What about putting Druid, Keeper of the Grove rather? I was saying Druid of the Grove.
Keeper of the Grove is good. The thing is, he doesn't know what deck exactly eKop is playing, and as I mentioned about those Ancient Watchers, how you make those really useful is by silencing them, because suddenly the 2-mana 4/5 can attack. So playing that card has its drawbacks in that you have 2 silences and you have 2 Ancient Watchers. You really got to pair them up to get good effect of your cards. So he does realize this, and he ends up wrathing for 1, cycling through his deck, and taking it out for free instead.
Yep. He's going to go for the greedier route, I suppose.
It is a bit greedy because you have a pretty good use of Healing Touch, but at the same time, often to deal 2 damage, you're going to have to use at least 1 card. In this case, he actually drew Wrath, so he doesn't have to use the card. That's a pretty good draw.
Yeah, especially with Blood Mage Thalnos, he can draw and kill it off in 1 blow.
Well, he didn't need to do that. He could have just taken the 4 damage. And in my opinion, I mean, with 2 Healing Touches in your hand, that's really not a big deal. If you need the life, you can use it. Obviously, as I mentioned, it's better use a Healing Touch to heal off your creature as you counter the direct damage of your opponent.
And so now, Monk, he has 5 mana on the board, trying to wait to see what he can do. He has a Sylvanas.
Playing Sylvanas is a very aggressive move. He's considering it because if you look at his hand, a lot of the cards are just very situational. And Sylvanas, while it is pretty situational against the big creature, you want to play it so you steal their stuff. But I don't know, if he claws the creature on board right now, he's left with 3 mana. With 3 mana, you're playing a Sunfury Protector on nothing, or you're innervating. But if you're innervating, you're essentially trading Innervate for Blood Mage, which is not really a card because it draws a card and it dies. So.
Yeah. Unless you wanted to silence it, but it's not really what he was looking for. So he's going to drop a Sunfury Protector. He has 2 anyways.
Yeah, you just throw something on the board so he has something to smack into creatures.
Cool. Now we have the eKop. See what he can do. 6 mana.
He just
Sunwalker.
drew the answer, I believe.
Sunwalker would be a fantastic drop. A card that's pretty underrated, in my opinion. It's got the good stats of 4 and 5. 5 is the money health, 4 the money attack, Divine Shield.
Sunwalker is really good when your opponent doesn't have a lot of stuff, because the Divine Shield gets really powerful when you have control over the board. His opponent has one creature, which actually turns out to be quite good. He may be thinking of the Ragnaros play here. That is what he does. So at this point, he's hoping that it hits the creature, and if it does. Wow,
nice roll there.
That is a very good roll. For your opponent to deal with Ragnaros, at 7 mana, he's gonna have to burn some stuff.
Yeah, can't even silence it because then you can just attack for 8 anyways.
Yeah, silencing doesn't really work. The Ancient of War isn't that bad because it does survive a hit from Ragnaros, and you can Healing Touch it and then attack into Ragnaros, and then Healing Touch it again. Which is not usually among the options of a regular play.
Yeah,
but he can do it
perfectly.
Yeah,
and I think that's what he's debating. Because honestly, what else can you really do? You can try eliminating it inefficiently with 3+ cards.
Yeah, I mean you could take care of it, but it's quite costly here.
Yeah. And I don't really, and I think getting a minion out's not the worst thing. Because then if it misses, and then you still have that 10 health to play with.
I actually don't believe there's any combination of cards to outright kill Ragnaros right now. And I think he's going through those options in his head and realizing that the Ancient of War, probably just putting something out there is the best thing you can do right now.
Yeah, because you need Starfall, Claw, and attack or Keeper of the Grove. So.
Yeah, he's 1 mana short of killing it right now.
That's unfortunate, and now Monk, he has to be feeling pretty good about himself.
Yeah, I mean, if you play Rag and it's alive the next turn, you are in a really good spot. And now he has the Silence. He can drop that extra 5 health off of the minion, as that is a battle cry. It's not something that's innate with the card.
He still also has a Sun Fury Protector as well.
Right.
So that in combination can be pretty nasty. Wow.
He's thinking of giving Rag Taunt just to limit the options the opponent has. But I think to swing the game more heavily, he would give Taunt to just the other creature.
Yeah.
But, he can't really expect his opponent to have Starfall and that kind of stuff that he actually does have in his hand.
And so he should be able to deal
swipe
with
draw
Rag.
is just excellent at this point.
Oh, yeah. So Starfall plus the Claw plus attack, but that's still
No. You're not attacking in the 8. Right now you're swipe and trading, or you're doing some kind of Starfall play. But I do believe the swipe is the best option.
He does have those healing touches to also help him up if things get too tight, but
he has a few interesting options because he can Keeper the Grove for 2 damage, so he can essentially equalize the board by swiping Ragnaros, attacking the Ragnaros, and the 1 damage from the swipe on the Sun Fury plus the 2 from the Keeper
should even out the board, just 2 Keepers of the Grove.
Exactly. So he has the card advantage, but he is down some life. It's not really a big deal because he has the healing touches, but we'll see. If healing touches are just going to be used on himself for life, he's actually exactly even.
Well, Monk does have some stuff ready because he did have Sylvanas for a while now, and also he has Ancient of Lore to draw more cards if he so desires. In the end, it's still a slight lead for Monk, but I like how eKop dug his way out of that position. Very nice job.
Yeah, you got to deal with Ragnaros. The fact that it was there 2 turns could have actually ended the game. I think if it did hit the 5/5 creature, I believe it would have ended the game.
Because there's no answer for him.
Well, there were answers, but those cost a lot of hit points. Yeah.
No desired.
Right now, he's seeing the Equalizer as an opportunity to regain the card advantage and playing by the Ancient of Lore, drawing 2 cards. He has answer in his hand. He can actually do crazy stuff like wrathing his own Sylvanas if he needs to. So I think he's in a pretty good spot right now. He has a lot of insurance against the heavy cards that his opponent could be playing.
Yeah, and Monk, I love Monk's position a lot. And again, remember, he's up 2-0, so if he wins this, he wins 250 for himself and 250 for the team, and equals up the score. And eKop,
he's looking for the naturalized draw here, I believe. Yeah, I think
he can actually take out the Keeper of the Grove as well.
Yeah, at the same time, if he does, his opponent does kill it, so it's not something you really have to do.
I guess he just feels like it's just mana efficient. Sometimes you feel like, I can do it, so why not?
He set up his opponent for a pretty good opportunity to swipe, but a Ragnaros draw is pretty much top tier at this point.
Yeah, and now you can use his Claw to eliminate one of the possibilities. And this could be a big turning point in the match.
If it hits the 5-5,
If it hits
may
the
be over.
5-5.
Nope.
Oh man, no, it doesn't. It
Yep.
hits.
That Ragnaros is gonna be on discount.
50% off.
Oh, more than that. That's gonna be 1 Wrath.
Yeah, 1 Wrath plus the Ancient of Lore.
Yeah, but the
which
Ancient of Lore
already
draws
saves
2
purpose.
cards.
Yeah,
So he essentially,
and does 5 damage.
yeah, essentially got a pretty much a freebie there. That's as good as you can get for killing a Rag as a Druid.
Yeah, with no real true hard removal, and so eKop has to be a little bit disappointed with that. And now the board's been cleared, so Monk can even drop the Druid the Claw.
Yep, Druid the Claw is the best play here. You don't want to Sylvanas, you don't want to give your opponent the opportunity to bypass the battle cry of such a powerful card. The Druid of the Claw evades a lot of direct damage. He he evades a Starfall. He'd have to attack himself, and
I didn't know that. I didn't notice that eKop runs Wild Growth as well. It's another part of his ramp.
Yeah, I think it's why he runs so many big cards. He does so because he feels he can ramp into them by using the Wild Growths.
One thing that's kind of cute is if you have 10 mana and you use Wild Growth with Gadget Auctioneer, you get 2 cards because you get a free mana card.
That's true.
So maybe in that combination. Now look at that, double Druids of the Claw.
Yep, he is in a pretty good spot because he can swipe 1, finish it off for 2 damage, attack into it, and attack with the hero, which is 10 mana. He can clear the board while still having 2 creatures left. The one that he has right now, which would be a 4/2, and the Keeper, which he plays. So that looks to be like the play that he's making. Bit of a complicated one, but an experienced Druid player will see this kind of stuff immediately.
Yeah, really well done again by Monk, and I guess the Claw party's over.
Yep.
Crashed by Keeper of the Grove. Centaurs don't know how to have fun, man.
Well, that's a very fun card.
And now, what can you really do if you're in eKop's position? It's still kind of difficult. He can use a Wild Growth to draw.
Well, he's in a pretty bad spot, but he's got the health from the Healing Touch, and he's got some cards that are not easy to deal with. Oh, man. Might as well keep going.
Right, and
it's not like you're
he's
playing
wasting
anything.
his mana, though, this turn, but better than nothing. Essentially thinning his deck. I'm actually kind of curious how many cards are left in each deck, because they've been drawing a lot.
Yeah, he really needs his other Ancient of War, or he really needs his Ysera. And because he had to waste 4 mana, he's not playing either this turn.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and there's Ysera. How about that?
So you can use Starfall, eliminate
2 to all.
the Druid of the
And the
Claw,
Claw.
and finish it off.
Yep.
And now it's 3 cards versus 3 cards.
He is not in a bad spot.
Wow.
And it's a pretty strange scenario because Ysera can draw you so many cards, and it's unlikely your opponent can deal 12 damage to it directly in 1 turn. He can continuously heal it with the Healing Touches. So this is actually far from over.
But he also saw Naturalize before, right?
Yes, he did. But if he does use the Naturalize on Ysera, he's, again, not in that bad of a spot.
All right. Well, so now that we've seen the Sylvanas and Harvest Golem dropped, can eKop start the rally train? As he does have the option.
He has to play Ysera here. I'm pretty sure he knows
There's
that.
no other option, really.
Well, if you play anything else, you're essentially getting more behind in the game. Right now, Monk does not have a Wrath. I haven't been counting. I know he's used at least
wraths.
1. You think he's used 2?
I think so.
Okay. Well, if he has used 2, then he's pretty safe. But if he does have a Wrath, he can attack Ysera with a Sylvanas, then Wrath it for 1. Wrath pays for itself by drawing a card, and you steal the Sylvanas, which is a really bad play.
Yeah.
Bad spot for eKop. But if he knows that he has used 2, that is in fact the case, he doesn't have much to worry about.
Oh, we get to Dream, one of the... It's one of the weaker versions of the Dream cards.
Considering what's going to be played this turn, it's going to be quite strong.
Yeah, wow, that's really nice.
It's going to waste his entire turn for 0 mana.
Yeah, I mean, in most cases, I really like some of the other cards like Ysera Awakens and some of the really sick Emerald cards, but in this position, yeah, Dream has its pretty good utility.
There is another play here too, but I don't know if he'll be made. Yeah, it looks like he's going for face. Going for face looks like a really good idea from where Monk is standing, but
the healing touches.
Right, the healing touches essentially have Monk at higher life. Have eKop at higher life than
yeah. And if he can return it to his hand, heal up, put some more minions on the board.
Well, Sylvanas is a real pain in the ass to deal with right now.
Yeah.
But if he gets a few more aggressive cards, he might be able to pull this off just by healing himself. I think if he gets Ysera Awakens, he's not going to be in that terrible of a spot, in fact.
And it's going to be really nice to just have that complete board wipe. And now with healing, he goes up to 14 health.
Yep.
And Harvest Golem. Very nicely done once again by eKop.
I think eKop may decide to go all in here. Oh, he's choosing to attack the Golem, which is actually the correct play, because going all in would pretty much result in the opponent using the healing touch. But I don't think he's seen the healing touch in any of the games so far.
No.
So he doesn't know that the opponent has that.
Monk's flirted with the idea of healing up his minions before, but no real need to.
Yep.
Now it's a death rattle party.
Yeah, he can get rid of both sides of the Harvest Golem there.
It's all of these cards have some kind of effect, which is upon death, and now you're calculating all the possibilities. In the end, I think he's debating whether or not to. Oh, is he gonna go for the Sylvanas? Oh, he's gonna risk it.
Oh, 1 out of 3.
Here we go, the big moment. Is
If
he
he
gonna
loses
take the
this,
Ysera?
it's done.
Oh, he takes the Harvest Golem.
Not bad.
That's the second best option.
Oh.
But now a dream card comes in, and the Ysera Awakens. Wow, a game-changing card.
That is a game-changing card.
Whoa.
Oh, he draws the Naturalize, though. He does have the kill with the Claw, so he doesn't need to Naturalize it. And I would probably not Naturalize if I could help it.
See, he's got 5, 7.
Yeah, he does have a lot of damage, is the flip side.
Yeah.
He sees the opponent at 10, he sees the opponent use the Healing Touch. Most people don't run 2 Healing Touches, so he can see this opportunity to get really aggressive, and he may actually pay the price for that.
It's funny you say that because we do see 2 from eKop and only 1 Healing Touch in the deck for Monk.
Yep.
So now Monk's kind of has to make some risky calculations.
Well, it's on what he assumes is in the deck at this point. It's, yeah.
Very tense moment.
Yeah.
So, wow, he's thinking about going for the Claw. I mean, still he's seen Ragnaros. Both Ragnaros came out, yeah?
Both sides played Rag, and Ysera is dropped, and he killed the Sunwalker. I mean, if he deals with Ysera and Monk
That's
is
pretty
even,
much the last
that would put him essentially in the lead of the game overall.
There's only really the highest drop he has is an Auctioneer.
Yeah. So Monk is not in like the best of spots right now, just because his opponent has the Awaken. But you know what? It's not bad. If eKop draws like a Silence or something like that, or maybe just direct 5, he's gonna be fine, I think.
Ooh.
That is about the worst card you can draw.
Because
that is pure worthlessness.
Yeah. Well, he does have a Loot Hoarder for a second chance. All right. I mean, you can draw with the Innervate. So Innervate now becomes useful. Yep. And it gives him a second option, and he could play all the cards in his hand this turn if he wants to. Uses Ysera Awakens before the playing with fire. That seems a little crazy to me. Yeah, I think I would play the Gadgetzin Innervate and heal myself if the next card is not a spell, and then maybe consider Awakening. I don't know. eKop, this one's gonna sting if he chooses to drop it. He's debating it. He's picked it up 4 times now and dropped it. It's actually a very interesting play. Wow, because he would be betting on the cards that he would be drawing to finish off that creature. Yeah, so he does damage to everybody on the board. Because Ysera's already down, and now he's going to drop the Auctioneer, Innervate, and potentially swing, and he always has the Healing Touch if he needs to. Oh. And so he's going to draw first. He needs to play Healing Touch no matter what, right? Now, does he Innervate? Yeah. I guess so. There's no point using it otherwise. Right, I mean, that creature's... Oh, my. Oh! The perfect card. Wow, draws Wrath, and he's eliminated the Ancient of War, and he draws another Innervate. Wow, this is what you're talking about, but he also has to kind of be careful. He doesn't want to use that, because he has 3 cards left in his deck, I believe. Oh, apparently he does want to use it. He's got to use it sometime, right? Keeper of the Grove's not bad. Wow, so he's got some great utility cards remaining, and we have ourselves a big Game 3 moment once again. Well, the thing is, his opponent has Naturalize, and if he naturalizes the card here, he draws 2. Oh, but he starts taking damage. That's pretty much it. Like, that's the rest of the deck. And there's no other options that he has. Right. Unless... So, what does Monk have? He has an Ancient of Lore left, I believe, as well. So he does have some pretty big minions. Yeah, I believe Monk has quite a few cards left in his deck. I believe it's at least like... Oh, he does do the Naturalize. It essentially only draw 1 card because the 2 cards left in the deck, and you draw 1 for your turn anyway. Oh!
that last one.
Oh,
Forgot
wow,
about
an
that.
Ancient of War. I thought we've been seeing kind of the same cards, so we kind of lose track of who has what. But now we have a big draw, and so with 4 cards left,
that Ancient of War is being played. Seems they were delayed a little bit there, but Monk is actually in a pretty bad spot.
Wow, wow, wow. So he can drop the Ancient of War and the Harvest Golem, but every turn he also doesn't he eventually want to start armoring up as much as he can too? Like, I mean,
the thing is he's not drawing cards and his opponent is drawing cards. So if he plays it slow, you give your you give your opponent the opportunity to just cycle through.
It's coming down to the wire.
Well, now he can deal with it with swipe, but the problem is he loses his board and he drops his hero power. So swiping the opponent may be an option considering you have healing touch here.
And just kind of holding out, but then he still doesn't know what his opponent's holding. Cards, and we know it's Keeper of the Grove and Harvest Golems, 2 pretty durable cards.
It's going to be pretty hard to get through that 5-10 wall, I think.
This is still okay. So he's going to go for the safer play.
This
is getting down.
It's difficult to understand what's safe right now.
Yeah, I guess that's a great assessment of the situation. Monk's going to heal up, but he's out of cards. But speaking of out of cards.
He's actually out of cards.
Yeah, there's opponent is out of cards. eKop is drawing 2 damage and soon to be 3.
Yeah, once the 3 cards that he has are dead, he essentially cannot win the game without the hero ability or some fatigue, action going on. So right now he's just trying to race.
All right, 14-9. The top deck from Monk is an Ancient of War. Are you kidding me? This is a big draw once again.
Yeah, the problem is Sylvanas runs into it.
And then he takes the Ancient of War.
So this may be one of those options to play it as a 5-10.
Or 10-5, you mean?
Yeah, 10-5, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. It's kind of crazy because 3 turns means Monk wins.
It looks so stupid to play it this way.
Right.
But it's just because the opponent has no cards left. Like he trades with Sylvanas, but then there's no card he's playing after Sylvanas.
Over the next 3 turns, he takes 12 damage, and so even if he armors up, he loses. I'm talking about eKop here. And so Monk can try to stall for 3 turns, and he's going to do it. Oh no, he's going to try to speed up the process, but he's not going to get away with it.
No, he can't play it as a 5-10 because Sylvanas runs into it and he takes it. So this is the correct play. It just looks kind of funny.
Because you don't really see an Ancient of War.
So eKop has to deal with this. So he has to suicide Sylvanas.
Right.
And he's at the point where he's just hoping Monk just draws complete air.
Unless Monk draws something that gives him more draws.
I'm actually not sure what his fatigue is at.
It's at 3, so he has 2 more turns left.
Oh, that means he can't win then.
Well, he draws an Ancient Watcher. Oh wait, does he have 2 Ancient Watchers?
It's good enough. He can't win. He cannot kill the opponent. Because he only has 10, he does 5 damage a turn.
Oh, you're right.
And he
can armor up.
So Monk cannot lose right now.
Unless something crazy happens, but
if he disconnects, I guess.
If he disconnects, if he accidentally concedes, but there's 1 health left. He's just going to have to go for the face, and I think that's going to be it. It's kind of humorous. I think Monk's going to draw his 2 remaining Ancient Watchers, which hasn't really seen play.
He goes down in true fashion there.
Cool. So Monk's going to win 3-0 over eKop. A heated game number 3. Very down to the wire.
Pretty crazy match.
Yeah. That was really fun.
Yeah. I think Monk got, he didn't need to